Hi students, today we are going to see about chapter 10 circles. So let us begin this chapter with the considering a circle and a line PQ. So with one circle and one line, there can be three possibilities. The one is the circle and line is not intersecting, and another is circle and line intersecting at the two distinct points, and finally one more possibility is the line will touch only the one point on the circle, right? So here is PQ, the line PQ is non-intersecting line to the circle. Second is the same line PQ is a secant of the circle. So if touches the 2 point, we call this as a secant of the circle. So this line PQ is secant of the circle. When we call it a secant of the circle, when it touches the 2 point of the circle. And finally the PQ is a tangent to the circle. We call it as tangent to the circle when it touches only the single point in a circle. So in this chapter we are going to concentrate about the tangent to the circle. So here is some formal definitions for tangent to the circle. A line which meets a circle exactly at one point is called tangent to the circle. So let us consider a circle here. So I am going to draw a line which touch exactly at this point. So this line is the tangent. So for one point it's possible only the one tangent, you can see. So from this point we have drawn a tangent. So I am going to little tilt the scale and I am going to draw one more line, and you can see it touches a 2 points. So it is not a tangent. If line touches two distinct points in the circle, then we call it as a secant. So there is only one tangent at a point of the circle. Even if you tilt like this also some angle, you will get it as a secant, right? So this touches this point, 2 points are there. So this is a secant. This line is also a secant, and only one tangent is possible at a point on the circle. By the way, and also the parallel. Next we are going to see the parallel to this tangent. So if we draw here, it is a secant, and here also it is a secant. So there's a possible to draw one parallel tangent also. You can see here we got it as a another parallel tangent to this line. Let me name it as an x, y, and this x dash and y dash is parallel to this tangent, and other lines are the secant. So there is only one tangent at a point of the circle, and also the two tangent can be drawn from a point parallel to that. The two tangent will be parallel, only the two tangent is possible to draw. So other, if you draw also, it is look like a secant, right? Because here is one point, here is one point, you can note. So for this line also we have a two distinct point intersecting. So here also we have a two distinct point. So one more, the parallel is possible, but parallel secant there is an infinite possible, right? So here we are going for the note. There is only one tangent at a point of the circle. If you consider one point in the circle, there is only one tangent. And let me consider, if you consider a point inside the circle, is it possible to draw a tangent? No, right? Not a possible. Line means it doesn't have a starting and ending point. So it will be, if you consider a point here, then it is a secant, right? Then what is the possible to draw? How many tangent is possible to draw from the point outside the circle? It is point on the circle. Now I am considering the outside the circle. So how many tangent is possible? Can you guess? There will be a two possible. So from here we can draw a line like this touching here, and from this point you can draw one more in the bottom, right? So like this we can draw. So this is the one point, and this one is another point. So from inside it is not possible to draw a tangent on the circle. It is one tangent is possible. If the point is outside, there is a two tangents are possible. Even this, like, it will feel like a line ray, right? Even we can extend, right? Even that's this, if you extend, then it is a line, right? So there is only one tangent at a point of a circle, and two tangent can be drawn to a circle from a point outside the circle. So from out the circle, two tangent, and at a point of the circle only one tangent. So next we are going to see the paths. How we are going to name it. It is the point of contact. The point where line touches the circle is called point of contact. So this is the tangent line, right? So here this touches this point. So this point is called point of contact. So line which touches the circle. This line we call it as a tangent. And if we connect this center point to this point of contact, then we call it as a radius. This you already know, right? From center point to the circumference of the circle is a radius. So this 3 point will be 3 parts we are going to use. One is the radius and this point of contact which touches the point, the line and the circle, and this line is a tangent. So here we go with the 2 theorems which is very important, and throughout this chapter we are going to solve it with this help of these 2 theorems. So the first theorem is theorem 10.1. The theorem says that the tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. So we know this is the radius and this is the tangent, right? They said tangent at any point of the circle. If we consider any point, I am going to consider this point at P here, is perpendicular. They said it is a perpendicular. We know perpendicular is a 90 degree. 90 degree to the radius. So this angle will be the 90 degree. So this is the radius and this is the tangent, and it will make a 90 degree to the radius through the point of contact, right? Through the point of contact. So that's what theorem says. So this tangent and the line joint, that radius will be the always perpendicular, that is 90 degree. And the next theorem is 10.2. The length of tangents drawn from an external point to a circle are equal. So the length of tangent, or measurement, we are talking about the measurement of the tangent. So the tangent is drawn from an external points. So from outside the circle, it is not inside or it is on the circle. It is external, outside the circle, are equal. So from we already know that from outside there is a 2 tangents are possible. They said the length, that measurement will be equal. So here I named the circle with center O, and the P is the external point. The point of contact, 2 point of contacts are there. One is the Q and another one is the R. So the PQ is equal to PR. This is what this theorem says. This is easy to prove. We can prove with the similarities, and this theorem is very easy to prove that this is proven by the shortest distance between a point to the line is always a perpendicular. If you draw just till this line, and if you draw here, sure this will be the longest side since it more than the radius. So here radius is the shortest and it go beyond the circumference of circle, so it is more than the radius. So this is the shortest. We already know the shortest distance between a point to any line will be the perpendicular. So perpendicular will be the shortest distance. So here the radius is the shortest distance. If you tilt also, it will be the longest while comparing to this radius. So this is the perpendicular, right? So here we go for the exercise 10.1 problem. A tangent PQ at a point P of a circle of radius 5 centimeters. So radius is given with so circle is given with the radius 5 centimeter and makes a line through center O at a point Q. So there is a tangent PQ and the radius meets at the point Q. So the point of contact is the Q. So external point is a no, the point P is on the circle, right? So P of a circle at a point P of the circle, and Q is in the external. So from here the Q is in the external. So let me consider this as a Q and the center of the circle is O. So from here let me draw a tangent to the circle here, and this point is the P. They said they at a P of a circle at radius is 5 centimeters. So let me connect this Q and P, and this will be the 5 centimeter, right? And they said show that OQ is equal to 12 centimeter. So this OQ is a 12 centimeter. We have to find the length of PQ. So it's that PQO is in the form of a triangle, right? If it is a right triangle, then that's possible to find using the Pythagoras theorem. Is it right triangle? Sure, it is a right triangle, right? Because the first theorem says this QP is like a tangent and OP is a radius. So this is the perpendicular 90 degree, right? That is what 10.1 theorem says. So by theorem 10.1 we can say that QP is perpendicular to OP. Then we can use the Pythagoras theorem, right? So this is the 90 degree and this side will be the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse side is the OQ. So OQ square is equal to OP square plus PQ square. OP square plus PQ square. So OQ square is a 12. 12 square is a 144 is equal to OP. OP is a 5. 5 square is a 25 plus PQ square. So PQ is equal to 144 minus 25, right? So PQ square is equal to 144 minus 25 and PQ square will be 144 minus 25, it is 119, right? Then what will be the value of PQ? PQ will be the square root of 119 centimeter, right? So our option is D is the right. Clear? So first we know that it is in the form of triangle, and with the help of the theorem 10.1 we have shown it is a perpendicular. So now it is a right triangle. So we can use Pythagoras theorem to find the rest of the side. Clear? So here we go for the next one more, the two concept. This actually the figure name we already learned, we just recalling it. Circumscribed circle and inscribed circle. Circumscribed circle is a circle which passes through all the vertices of a polygon called circumscribed circle. So this first figure is the circle which touches all the vertices of the polygon. You can see the polygon I drawn is a pentagon, and you can see that circle touches all the point. So this is called a circumscribed circle of a polygon, and its center is called circumcenter. If any center is here, if you found a center of the circle, then this center is circumcenter. So next is the inscribed circle. The circle touches all the sides of the polygon. Here circle touches the sides of the polygon and its center is called incenter. Clear? Here you can see circle touches the vertices, that is circumscribed. Here you can see circle touches the sides. Then we can see inscribed circle. So this is as a circumscribed circle, and this one is a inscribed circle. And I can say another name is also there. You can see the circum. Circum means outside, right? So here the circle is outside, so boundary, that is the boundary circle. But here is the circle is inside, so it is a in. You can remember like this. So here you can see that inside there is a polygon. Is it possible to call a inscribed and the inside shape is the polygon? Yeah, sure, we can call it as a inscribed polygon. And here you can see they described about inside, and in the outside the boundary it is a polygon. Then boundary we call it as a circumscribed. Whether we can say circumscribed polygon? Yes, it is possible. We can even call it as circumscribed polygon. So even with the figure name we can remember. The first thing we can remember with the vertices as the definitions. If circle touches the vertices, it's a circumscribed circle. If circle touches the sides, we can say inscribed circle. And there's one more thing just by seeing the boundary. So boundary you can see the circle. So boundary in the circle we call it a circum. So circumscribed, the boundary shape is circle. Here the boundary is outside is a polygon. So circumscribed polygon. Here the inside is a polygon. So inscribed polygon. Here inside is a circle. So inscribed circle. So you can remember with any of these things. Thank you.